Hello, and welcome to a special Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day edition of Husky Huddle. I'm your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. And with me, as always, the icon, legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosia. And he is giving himself the thumbs up because he knows he is the best and nobody touches him.
Hardly.
Hardly. Nobody comes close. Nobody comes close. We get
No, hardly the
compliments all the
best of
time.
the best.
Oh my God, you are by far the best of the best. You
Oh,
were.
no, no.
I've listened. I know that you're diplomatic with your critiques on the broadcasters, but nobody comes close to
Well, thank you. I
uh,
appreciate that, bro.
a Joe D. Calling a touchdown or a big shot. There's nothing that comes close to it.
Thank you,
We can
thank you, my brother.
try, but it's not close. But a big week for the
Huge.
Huskies.
I
Yes,
think this is a huge week, Stevie, because
huge.
when we looked at the season before it began, we pointed at three games that we thought
Yes.
would be pivotal games as far as how this team fared this year. The Syracuse game, they should have won.
Yeah.
The Duke game is coming up in November, but now it is Monday. It is BC week
And
at
they had a
BC,
bye. Yep.
coming off a bye, chance to heal up. Hopefully, you get a little something out of Wes Brown. I'm sure they'll find out from the coach tomorrow at the media, at the weekly media avail, or maybe not.
Oh,
Maybe they'll
that's a
keep
good.
it state secret, like most football coaches do. Um, but look, this BC team is a wounded animal. They got
Yeah.
thumped by Pitt. They got thumped by Clemson. They're 1-5. They give up 33 points a game. Um, they give up 149 yards on the ground and only get 85. Now, part of that could be because they're behind all the time and they
Right.
have to
Right.
throw the ball a lot. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't delved that much into it. But this is a game UConn should win on the road by double digits.
Yeah, and you called it actually 2 weeks ago when you said they're gonna be playing Pitt and then Clemson. And then, we're coming off a bye week and going in, and they are going to be licking their wounds when we come to town after facing Clemson. And I got to look at some film, and they're not, they're definitely not the BC team of old. They're not even on the same stratosphere. They're not as good as I thought they were coming into the season. I knew they had improved, but they are really, really struggling. And I think this is a major opportunity because, we cultivated, so to speak, a rivalry with BC in football. And, all hell broke loose when we sued them when they left the Big East, and then we stopped playing them. But
Well, they stopped playing you. They
they
stopped
yeah,
playing
yeah,
UConn.
exactly. They didn't want to play us.
And
But
it wasn't a rivalry in the old days, Stevie, because
no,
to be a
no.
rivalry, you have to be able to
You
beat your
gotta win.
opponent. It was
You
the
know,
old Wiley. It was the old Wiley Coyote Roadrunner. Or Hammer. The Hammer and the Nail weren't a rivalry because the Nail never wins. And
you know,
UConn
I
was the Nail, and BC was the Hammer until the
I
last decade.
I use that line. I use that line over the weekend because of you when you said that. It's not a rivalry unless the other team wins once in a while. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it was always a big game for us, but we came up short. They had a very good system of what they wanted to do with, they always had they were good up front with a good offensive line. They had
Always.
an efficient quarterback. They had good running backs. Matty Ryan came in and changed the dynamic there for a little while. And then, they really kind of fell off. And they brought in, they had a Dazio for a little while. He didn't do much. I mean, they've tried so many different things, and it's a team that has the money. But again, I mean, maybe I'm wrong in thinking this. My Uncle Tom is from New Jersey, so we were in an argument yesterday about this. I was comparing them to Rutgers of the, BC is the Rutgers of the ACC. Do you think that's fair, or would you say that's a little off?
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I'm sure
because
Uncle Tom wasn't happy with that, but
no, he
Rutgers,
wasn't.
in fact, to be honest with you, Steve, and I haven't looked at the standings, Rutgers may be little better off than BC.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
You
He said
know,
offensively they are.
I think Rutgers is a little better off than BC. I mean,
Yes,
ever since the Matt
Shiano.
Ryan years,
Oh, right.
BC hasn't done much in
No,
football,
no,
and they haven't done much I mean, their move to the ACC, while financially it was a home run, as far as being competitive in the major sports, that hasn't happened. Their
no,
women's
not even close.
basketball is an afterthought. Men's basketball is okay, but they don't challenge for championships. They've never gotten to the point of Duke or Carolina or even Louisville in that
Wow.
conference. And football's been abysmal.
Yeah, yeah, and football, had carried them for a while. They were always like a 7 to 8 win team that would go to a decent bowl game, and they had a system of what they were doing. They like I said, they were strong up front, offensively and defensively. They ran the ball well. They had a good, efficient quarterback from the Hasselbacks. The
Yep.
Hasselbacks were all good, efficient quarterbacks. They got Matt Ryan in there. And then they like when they went to the ACC, they really fell off a cliff. And I think that happened. I mean, it was the same thing to Miami. Miami started off terrible in the ACC. Syracuse did, and it took them a
Yeah, I'm
while to
not going
get
to agree
adjusted.
with you on Miami. I think Miami more than held its own at the beginning.
Oh, they did.
I think Syracuse, Pitt, and BC, the
Yeah,
last three Big East teams to go in there, were teams that really never found their footing.
right. Because it's a whole new recruiting element to it that I don't think they adjusted to. You gotta go out of state more. You got to go into the DMV, down to DC,
Well,
down
they've
to
always
Virginia.
BC's always recruited New Jersey well,
Jersey,
and
yes, always.
there's a wealth of talent in New Jersey, but it's
Yes,
been getting the right kids. You could get
100%.
50 Jersey kids, and if they're not of a Power Four caliber, then it doesn't matter where they're from. I
No,
think they've just misidentified kids. Now, look, they've had some decent years while in the ACC. The whole thing hasn't been hideous, but it's not been anything like what they thought it was going to be.
no, no, not at all what they expected. Not at all what they expected. And I'm not a big fan of their head coach. They brought in Bill O'Brien, who is like a historical kind of jumper. But we have an old friend. Their offensive line coach is Matt
Okay.
Applebaum.
Oh yeah, you kind of
Matty,
guy.
yeah, Matty's the O-line coach. Matt has done a phenomenal job. He was with the Redskins or the Commanders for a while, but he's done very well as a coach. And then their quarterbacks coach, I actually coached at Dartmouth, Jonathan DiBiaso. He's a
Okay.
Massachusetts kid. Father's a coach. He didn't see the field at Dartmouth, but he very good mind. So it's a new coaching staff. They're in
Right.
their first year, and I think we have a veteran team. And like you said, this is a game that we can come in and really set the tone, play our game, come out, with a double-digit victory over a Power 4 conference team.
Yeah.
And
Well, we're
that will.
underdogs. We're
Oh,
underdogs going in.
I would expect that. I would
Yeah.
expect that. I
And
would expect that.
let me go back on something for a minute here, because I had said that they really haven't done anything since they went to the ACC, and that's not true. They've gone to bowl games almost
Yes.
every
Yep.
year.
They do. Yep.
They've gone to bowl games every year. Now look, 2011 they lost to Nevada. 2012 they got clocked. 2013 they got walloped by Arizona. 2014 they lost at Yankee Stadium by a point to Penn State.
Pinstripe Bowl, right?
2016 they beat Maryland. 2017 they lost to Iowa. 2018, remember they went to the bowl game in Dallas that got canceled because of bad weather.
Oh, that's
That was a
right.
waste of money.
Yes.
2020 they went to Birmingham and lost by 32 to Cincinnati. And then 21's game got canceled because of COVID. And 23 they went to Fenway and beat SMU. 24 they went to Yankee Stadium and lost to Nebraska. So they've been going to bowl games,
Yeah.
but as one of the bottom.
They're 7-5, right? They're a 7-5
exactly.
team. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I that's kind of the ceiling where I see them at in the ACC. I don't see them getting over that.
I would totally agree.
And when I saw the firing, and I mentioned this to you before, James Franklin getting fired, that just blew my mind. And I understand you had mentioned this before, that there's no time to develop anything. They want results now. And if you don't get results now, you're out the door. And for a guy who took his team to the national semifinals to get, I understand he had 3 losses in a row. The Oregon loss was in double overtime. That was a tough one. Yeah, UCLA was ugly. Yeah, Northwestern was ugly. But it just seems like they're quick on the trigger to pull for that. Like I just, and you said the same thing. Like, what good does it do?
Where do you think that comes from?
I know where it comes from.
Comes from boosters. Comes from people with big money.
I know it comes from. They were chanting "Fire Franklin" when they got on the bus or whatever. They were chanting that, but it really destroys any hope they have of this season. They're not.
I think it does.
They're not completely out of the woods. They're 3-3. Like, the sky isn't falling. And they're playing a Big Ten schedule where they can at least get 6 wins, 7 wins in the next few games. So that's why I was so surprised with it. And then everyone's complaining because the AD before gave him a guaranteed contract. He was one of the few. It was him and Brian Kelly and a couple others that got guaranteed contracts. They got 10-year contracts. He's getting paid $56 million until it's split up until 2031. And that's regardless of if he coaches or not. Usually if you coach again, they'll take it out of that. But it's not that way with him. So I just a guy who had been there 12 years, I know he had a terrible winning percentage against good teams, but that just surprised me that he got fired. And then,
I would agree.
And then the UAB coach got fired. Trent Dilfer got fired.
Trent Dilfer, yeah.
He obviously, though, he had no business getting that job to begin with. He had
not at all.
No experience at all getting that job when they took him. And the coach who was there had to leave because of medical reasons. But what I was looking at was just like you were saying, statistically, for what we're doing and what, obviously BC's been doing, I think obviously we can take advantage in the run game, especially with Mel Brown back. I think
we don't know that he's back. We don't know that he's back.
We don't. No, we don't know that. We don't know that for sure. Absolutely.
And if he's not back, then that with all due respect to Rosa and
Yes.
Coleman, Lundberg, Coleman, and MJ Flowers, who's only got the ball 12 times.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
only played 3 games. Lundberg, Coleman's only got the ball 15 times. I mean, you look at Cam has almost half the carries
I know. He's
that they've
taking
had
on
this
all the
year.
workload. Yeah.
And you take away 1 Skylar Bell reverse, 1 Nick
Yep.
Evers carry, 2 by the freshman kid from Killingly, who they gave the ball to, in the cancer awareness game to honor his
Oh,
late mom.
right.
I mean,
Yes.
Cam really has carried the ball half the times this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. And I think Cam is a tough physical runner. I just don't think physically he's built for that kind of workload because he's a smaller back, but I mean, he's built low to the ground. He's strong. I don't want him having that many carries. That's the only thing that concerns me. And when he went down with that ankle injury at Buffalo, I got really scared. And thankfully he was able to come back in and make some plays.
Well,
But
BC does that too, though. BC's leading ball carrier, Turbo Richard, has exactly half of their carries. 82 of
oh
their
wow.
100, 82 of their 164 carries. The
And
next
that
closest has 26. The next closest after that has 13. So, these teams don't, and that also comes to, and the quarterbacks run 23 times. So Richards carried has been called
jeez.
on more than half the plays of running plays to carry
That
the
I would not
ball.
have expected.
And they pass maybe 60% of the time and run 40% of the time. But again, those numbers are skewed by the blowout of Fordham at the
Yes.
beginning of the season, and then the last 2 games where they had to throw the ball a lot because
Right.
they were getting their ass kicked.
Against Clemson and Pitt. So it's going to be interesting to see. Bill O'Brien he's run a traditional offense. He's been more of a under center guy. Doesn't like to do a lot of the zone read RPO stuff. So I think that helps us. I don't know for sure. I didn't get to watch enough. Do you believe that their quarterback is more of a threat to run in the running game, or is he a threat to run as someone who will take off and go?
He's only got 23 carries in 6 games.
Okay, that's how
And
I felt.
He's thrown the ball 197 times. And let me see what they got for sacks here, because that'll tell us another story. And
Yeah,
um, he's been sacked 12 times, which
Jesus.
isn't a lot because they have 11 sacks. In 6 games, 12 sacks.
Well, yeah, it's two.
9 like
Yeah.
Justin Fields absorbed yesterday. So he's dropped back almost 210 times in 6 games. That's a lot.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
again,
that's a lot for O'Brien, but
yeah, but
it's
again,
circumstance, like you said.
because well, you know what? This is bizarre. They threw 45 passes at Michigan State, a game they lost by 2. They threw 44 passes at Stanford, who I believe they lost by 10.
Wow.
They threw 37 passes against Cal, who they lost to. Then they only threw 30 against Pittsburgh and 29 against Clemson. And they ran
I
the ball. They ran the ball they only had 24 rushes against Pitt. But Clemson, they actually ran the ball more than they passed it. So
I think they
I
kind
can't
of knew.
yeah, I can't figure that out though. I mean, it's just kind of, the numbers are and people are running against them. Pittsburgh and Clemson both ran against them 43 times.
Oh,
And
I was looking at the rushing
in
yardage
pulling up as many points as they did.
that they've given up.
You know what the talk is, Steve. You know what they're saying in the BC locker room. This is our get right game.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't care that UConn's 4-2.
UConn's coming to town.
Right. We always beat them. They barely beat Buffalo. They barely beat. They lost to
To
Delaware.
Delaware,
They barely beat Ball State.
Ball State.
They should have beat Syracuse, but Syracuse is one of the dregs of the ACC, much like BC is. So for Boston College, this is the chance to get a win and help turn their season around, and that's important.
And you've said that about everyone who looks at us on their schedule. It's a chance for them to get right, get that momentum back, get on track, and absolutely for BC, especially with Bill O'Brien at the helm. I think that they ran the ball more against Clemson because they knew that they would struggle blocking for pass blocking. I think they wanted to protect their quarterback. I don't
keep
think
Lonergan on his feet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of because they weren't going to hold up in protection. I think they knew that it was going to be a battle. I think they probably came in with a little bit more conservative of a game plan, and that's why we saw that. With us, it'll be interesting to see. Like for them to throw 40 times against Stanford and Cal or Michigan State, Stanford, that shows me that they believed obviously they were the better team. They could execute. They could throw the ball downfield and make plays. They had better athletes, and they may feel that way against us.
I got a question. I got a question for you.
Oh boy.
I'm just reading Applebaum's bio in their game notes. Where did he start for 2 years at UConn?
He started on the offensive line his last 2 years, allegedly.
Did he? I don't remember that.
Yeah. He got moved to offense in 2003, I believe. Yeah. He played. I thought he played guard and tackle. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now it rings more of a bell.
I know you're. I believe you're also thinking of someone else who got moved who did not play, and that would be Nick Gravy. Nick Gravy got moved.
No, I wasn't thinking of him.
Okay,
I wasn't thinking of him, but never mind.
Applebaum got moved. He did start 2 years.
Okay.
But that is very important as well. Him being the offensive line coach, he is sound with everything he teaches, and I think he'll have a good plan going in for the rushing attack.
Well, they've always been
Yes.
as you said earlier, their offensive line has always been a staple of that school.
Huge. They always were huge. They always had good running backs. God, I remember we played against Derek Knight. Derek Knight was outstanding. He ended up on the Giants practice squad. They have some good ball carriers. It just depends what they go in with as far as a game plan. But I think for us, time of possession is key. There's the big man.
What's up, shoot?
Oh,
Coach, you're in the dark.
I'm not there. Hold on.
Yeah. And time of possession is key. I think if we can control the clock, I think if we can run the ball. My concern is defensively. I just don't want us to get too cute. And I've said this several weeks now. We do a lot of different things, and it takes the kids out of position.
There I am.
There he is. Good to see you, Coach.
Hey, good to see you guys.
I know you were busy walking Abe Lincoln down for the Gettysburg Address.
Yeah. You see me using AI. Now they can replicate me, so I'm no longer needed in this world.
My Uncle Tom could not believe that. I showed him the video. I had to send it to him. He took it home and
people thought I went insane. So people don't realize that's the thing about AI. Like, there's half the people don't realize that it's not actually real.
Yeah, but he
obviously the Abe Lincoln thing and the Abe Lincoln thing you could I mean that's obviously. But there's one where I win the Price is Right. I made one up, and I made win the Price is Right. I'm jumping on
I
top
know
of
you
the
were going
car.
to get addicted to it. I can't wait to see that.
I'm addicted for 24 hours, and I won't do it again. But I posted it. Anyway, I wanted to tell you, I had a great pate, which is reason why I was late, and I got to go.
Yeah, I saw the podcast. I saw the prospect pod.
Yeah. And we were talking about strength and conditioning, and speed, and different like development things there. But UConn, who do we have this week again?
BC. We got BC.
We're winning that game. BC is terrible.
1.5 underdog.
Wow.
I take UConn.
Joe, did you see what the line was? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, 1.5. BC's a 1.5.
It's only 1.5. Oh, okay. I take that all day. I'm
BC's bad.
It's just funny that O'Brien's that coach.
I agree with you, but they played a little better competition than UConn has.
They did. They played
That's
Stanford. They played Cal maybe.
Clemson, Pittsburgh.
I mean, maybe they're hard. Maybe they're
Michigan State.
Was Stanford any good?
No, Stanford's down.
No, are they? I don't think so.
No, they're not. They're okay. I think they're middle of the road.
But I know that, like
Clemson.
Joe said, like this is a game they're looking at where they can turn their season around. Like UConn's coming in, we own them, we're going to hammer them and get back on track. And they very well could do that.
Is their coach a candidate to be fired?
No.
Bill O'Brien? No. It's his first year.
No chance. Second year.
Second year. Okay.
It's his second year. He's got no chance of getting fired.
But the O-line coach is a teammate of mine, former teammate, Matt Applebaum. He coached in the NFL for a while, and he is the offensive line coach. And the quarterbacks coach, you probably know, Jonathan DiBiaso. I coached him at Dartmouth. He must have gone to one of your quarterbacks. Never heard of him? His father's a legendary coach in Massachusetts, so that's probably why you haven't. But
by the way, Stanford does stink. Stanford's 2-4.
Yeah, because Frank Reich's the interim head coach. I mean, he's only there, for Andrew Luck to get the year out, and then he's going to bring somebody else in. But I also like that.
Well, Stanford, did you see that? They got $50 million. So Andrew Luck has raised $50 million $50 million from one donor, former football player from the 60s, is giving them $50 million. Andrew Luck's doing a great job. I mean, it's only a matter of time. Who has the biggest endowments? I said this. Why do you think Vanderbilt is starting to get better?
I know you said that.
The best academic schools have the biggest endowments. It's just a matter of whether those guys want to put that money to football, instead of giving it to academic research. Okay, so a couple of guys that are billionaires decide I'm going to give $50 million. They're all over the place at Stanford. They're all over the place at Vanderbilt. They're all over the place at Northwestern. You know what I mean?
No,
it's just a matter
credit to him for doing it.
Yeah, so he got $50 million. They don't know how they're going to spend it yet, but they got $50 million from one guy. So,
but Joe, I was happy to see that Joe Figliano was he was one of 8 quarterbacks nationally to be recognized as one of this week's Manning Award Stars of the Week, the Manning Award.
Well, that's nice.
Look,
he did it against.
But look at the names he's with.
He did it against a team that you could have thrown for 300 yards against.
I know. I
mean,
my dog.
But it's nice, and you know what? It's nice that they're getting kids from UConn are getting recognition.
No, it is. It is for sure. It is for sure.
Bill O'Brien was 7-6 last year, and this year is 1-5.
Bill O'Brien is.
Where did the quarterback? The quarterback went somewhere.
He left. He went to
he's at Florida State. Tommy Castellano.
He's not doing great there, right?
He started off good, and then he's been atrocious.
Well, and as far as BC turning their season around with a win against UConn, here's what they got left: 4-1 Louisville, 4-2 Notre Dame,
Loss,
4-2 SMU,
loss,
6-0 Georgia Tech, and
loss,
3-3 Syracuse. This might be their last
loss.
win of the year.
They're not winning. They're going to be 1-11.
Well,
That
they
could be
may
2
have a
and
chance
10.
against their.
The
They're
best
gonna
it
be 1-11.
might be is
They're going to lose to us, and they're going to lose the rest of their games. Now, all right, let me ask this question. This has nothing to do with UConn. If Bill O'Brien goes 1-11, does he come back the next year?
yes.
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
Because BC
We're-
doesn't
we're-
want to be
we're-
throwing BC doesn't want to be throwing money away on coaches.
Got it.
Dude,
Got it.
they
Okay.
they just went over this, Dave, because James Franklin got fired.
$56 million. They got to pay him out.
56 million, and that would have equaled 5,000 scholarships. And that's what they're paying him.
They don't care. They have
No,
money.
but in Congress they're trying to pass a bill to kind of curtail. Well, actually, no, it has nothing to do with coaching buyouts and all that. But they're trying to pass a bill for NIL and spending to have a database so players get fair market value, to where, like, you can't pay someone $20 million if the going rate for a starting quarterback's $8 million.
Not to be political, and I don't ever want to turn this into a political thing. This is the same Congress that currently can't come up with a funding deal, right? And they're worried about NIL. Next question. Let's move back to BC.
I see, even if they pass something, whatever that would be, okay. How are you still stopping a guy who's a donor from Stanford from giving 50 million? He could give $1 billion if he wants to give $1 billion, and they could spend it however they want.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right.
I want the system to be blown up in this way. I want a guy that's, like I don't know, Elon Musk or one of these guys. He doesn't have a favorite school because he didn't go to school. He's not from here, but a guy that went to some school. Okay, that's a billionaire. To turn around and give so much money, because he doesn't care about it, give so much money to a program with the mandate that we have all the best players on our roster, and go and then win, okay, by landslides, and because he pays them so much more money than anybody else can pay them, and then everybody says that we can't do this anymore. I want someone to do that, because that would make my day, because I would laugh at this little escalating that they're doing. Oh, I'll give 20 million now. Oh, okay, now I'll give 40 million. I just want some billionaire who does not care, who obviously has endless amount of money, and it doesn't matter if he throws away $1 billion. Throw $1 billion into something and just say, it would be great if he did with UConn, just an experiment. If they wanted to do that, that'd be great. But they throw $1 billion in there and just say, I'm just gonna just take it over, and we're gonna win.
But
and everyone else could really, really complain, like really, really complain. That's what I'd love to see happen.
I was looking at BC, and defensively, they have played quite different lineups almost for every game. They've had a lot of injuries. So I think that
it's either injuries or he's looking for a right combination. I mean, they give up.
They
give up 33 points a game. So it's probably more of, and that was going into last week. They've given up more now. What is it up to now? It's up to 33 points a game or something.
It's 33.
Like
it's 33.
I think it's just as much looking for combinations as it is trying to with guys hurt.
I don't think they've established an identity. I mean,
well, I would say the identity so far has been they stink.
Yes, they stink.
That's the identity they've established so far.
They stink. Yes,
they're not competitive.
And
the quarterback's not horrendous.
Well, he's not. He's not a dual threat kid, which I think works in our advantage.
Throws pretty good. I mean,
yeah, he throws well.
I mean, that's what Bill O'Brien wants in his offense.
Yes, he's a pro style guy.
Style. Yes. They have zero run game.
No, I mean their running back's not bad.
They're averaging
3 yards a carry.
3 yards a
They,
carry.
the team averages
Well,
3 yards
I-
a carry.
Yes, I know. I was going by their top runner, but yes.
Yeah, but as a team,
Yes.
they're averaging 3 yards a carry.
Turbo
right.
Richard. Yeah, I thought
UConn averages 5.5.
Exactly.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, no, we do. So I think we come in, we control the clock, time of possession. I think we keep Joe Figliano. He's been running the ball more, which has been a threat and has been damaging to defenses. I think that we can score a plethora of points. I think, we exploded last week. I think we have to build off that, keep that rolling. And if we can do that, I think defensively, I see us being able to force some turnovers against this team. And yeah, I know BC is going to be coming in confident. I know BC is going to be
I don't think they're going to be
saying,
confident at all. I don't think they're
well,
being confident at all.
Joe's right. Joe's say they're going to see UConn on the schedule. We own UConn. It's not a rivalry game.
I don't
We
think a
beat
team that's
UConn.
1-5 is confident. I think that they'll feel that they have more talent maybe on the team.
Yes.
But I don't
Yeah.
know that they're going to be confident. The first half, I should say, is probably going to dictate a lot to what happens.
Oh, of course.
Like
Yes.
if we could get a lead on them and put them in, I mean,
Yes, 100%. If we take it away to where they're not able to run the ball, Joe and I were looking. They threw the ball 40 times a game against Michigan State and Cal, and
they're
that's when
behind. They're behind.
Right.
Yeah, that's when they really.
That's what I said to you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's when they really struggled.
That's why the issue. This is a team more than even turnovers. I think you can get a lot of 3 and outs on, and
I think we have to.
That's I think where we can actually get I think that's it should be a big focus because they don't have a great run game. They're averaging 85 yards a game, and they're averaging giving up
very pedestrian. Yes,
and they're averaging below pedestrian. They're averaging giving up 149 yards a game rushing. So that to me tells me that like if you could get them in a situation where you get 3 and outs, we're gonna have an opportunity. I think I agree with you. Control the clock because we can run against them, but score a lot early that will force them to throw, and then you're going to get turnovers. That's when you're going to get turnovers because you're going to force them in a situation when they're one-dimensional. They're going to have to throw every single time, and I don't know. I mean,
they're not bad on third down. Their third down percentage is 43%, which is good. Anything over 40% is good. Their interception rate, they've thrown 5 interceptions overall. I haven't seen fumbles, but they're 37 penalties, not terrible. They're just a ho-hum team.
My guess is there's
nothing that stands out about them.
My guess is a lot of their third down conversions are when they're behind.
Yeah,
they've been
behind every game.
Their
yes.
third down conversion rate is in the first half. I'd like to know that.
Yes.
Because
I agree.
Once teams are ahead and they're probably playing a little more giving up yards and they're converting third down.
Okay.
What are they converting in the first half? That's what I'd like.
You're right. The first half, they've been outscored 70. What's 73 plus 43?
116.
Okay, 116, and then
Thank God
50,
for you, Joe.
58 plus 31, Dave.
89. Don't call me
All right.
Dave.
So they sorry, Joe. So they've been outscored in the first half.
Joe
much.
GPT. He's our chat GPT guy right here. Joe GPT.
And the second half they've been a little bit better.
Well, that's because they're coming back all the time.
Yeah.
That's because they have to score to come back.
Yeah.
You can here's the bottom line. We can look at
dissect it anyway.
Every stat. We could break every stat down till it bleeds. The bottom line is it's a game that UConn should go into,
yes,
right? And win. BC, I agree with Shu. They're not going to be a confident team. They're going to be a team that's going to come in feeling they have talent that they haven't utilized yet this year, and they're thinking if we can get an early turnover or two, put some doubt in UConn's mind, then maybe we can win. But if UConn comes out and can run the ball and Fagnano can be effective hitting Skylar, maybe try to hit a tight end or two along the way,
Yeah,
throw a
juice.
ball to Rosa out of the backfield, spread the ball around so they can't stack the box against Edwards, because that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
If they can do all those things, then it shouldn't be a contest. UConn
It really shouldn't.
should win by 2 touchdowns.
It really shouldn't. Looking at everything, and looking at the game stats, I'm really excited for this, because for us to have a chance to come in, and I know it's not the best Power 4 conference team, to get a win against a Power 4 conference team, that's great for us. That would be getting 4 wins in a row, and that is what we need to set us up for the November 1st game. And then I believe Duke is after that. So that'll put us in great position.
Who's November 1st?
I just remember November 1st was the tailgate for Baylock. I'm checking the schedule right now. No, November 1st is Rice. Oh no, I'm sorry. UAB. So UAB is November 1st. So we have BC and Rice. We're at BC, we're at Rice for the next 2 games. So there are 2 games that we're capable of obviously winning. So this is what we need. These are games we're capable of winning. And then Duke is going to be the test. Air Force is going to be the test. Florida Atlantic, we could send Dave's 10U team in, and they would beat Florida Atlantic.
No, that would not happen.
But that it's exciting. It's exciting to see, and I just hope that our fan base, I hope we travel well to BC. I know that we when I played, we used to travel well. I hope we get a pretty good crowd there, and I hope it at least gets that momentum going. So we finish out.
Here's an interesting number too. We talk about running the ball. Time of possession, their last 4 games, they've lost. Pittsburgh had the ball for almost 41 minutes.
Jesus.
Clemson had the ball for almost 37 minutes. So they've been getting crushed. Cal had the ball for 35 minutes.
Wow.
So last 3 games,
have expected that. Wow.
Last 3 games, they've been getting crushed. The opposition has scored 19 of 26 times touchdowns in the red zone.
In the red zone?
And 5 field goals. Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
BC in the red zone has scored touchdowns 67% of the time. 16 for 24,
God.
with a bunch of field goals. Well, we're not exactly, UConn's not exactly.
I know.
So UConn's only beaten BC 1 time in their history, right? 2022.
Right, and BC was brutal that year too.
We've only beaten them once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh my God, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought we beat them more than that. Wow.
Well, that's where Joe's like, hey, that's why they're going to be.
Yeah.
Because they
didn't we beat them on a game-winning field goal? Is that what I'm thinking?
We beat them 13-3.
Oh, okay. All right. So it was a rough game. Okay.
UConn in the red zone. Just to go back to this red zone thing for a minute.
Yeah.
UConn's been in the red zone 27 times. Only 17 touchdowns. That's not a great percentage.
No.
And 8 field goals. That's not a great percentage.
No. It most certainly is not a great percentage. And I know.
But again, you got all the numbers in the world. It's how the kids come out and play. It's who's healthy. It's how they come out and play. If all things are being equal, UConn should win by double digits.
Yeah, we'll talk about
my
it.
way of thinking.
I'm gonna watch a little more film on it. I think the same thing. I'm gonna watch. If BC's quarterback is a traditional drop back guy, I think we won't have a problem. And I think it'll be a big win for us. So that's what
the big win is Mr. Big Win is back.
I'm not going with a blowout. You'll
Mr.
never
Big
hear me
Win-
do that again.
Well, don't give it up before Friday because we have to save some suspense.
I learned my
Yeah. Since we've basically broken the game down 8 ways to none already, and we've still got another show to do.
Well, that's what happens when you have 2 weeks off.
Well, no, I mean, I do want to talk a little bit more about the Franklin firing and Trent Dilfer getting fired. See what you think about that. I didn't get Dave's opinion on it.
Trent Dilfer?
Trent Dilfer got fired at UAB. Yeah. I think you should throw your name in the hat for that job.
UAB. I know who the big donor is at UAB, actually.
But yeah, so
UAB, that's a tough place.
No, they were doing well until their coach
I know,
got
it's a
sick.
tougher place. Have you ever been there?
Yes.
It's it was originally like a commuter school.
No, right. I know it was. It was. Everyone.
They've done a great job. They built great facilities.
Yes,
but it's still kind of a little bit of a commuter mindset. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And it's in Alabama where the big school from Tuscaloosa looms over everybody.
Right. And I read this. I didn't know if it was true or not. Their athletic director is Mark Ingram. I was wondering if it's the Mark Ingram from Alabama or not. That's what I was checking.
No shot.
Okay, it's not him.
I would say no shot.
Okay, I was going to say because I've seen him on College Game Day. I think that's why. That was probably a stupid question. But yeah, we'll talk more about. Oh,
well, he's. I just pulled it up real quick. Since this Mark Ingram is Caucasian, I would say that it's probably not him.
I just saw the picture. He's not.
Oh, okay. It's not out. All right.
Steve, way to do your research, Steve. Way to do your research.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I was not expecting that, by the way, when I pulled it up now. I was just curious. I didn't expect
I said AD Mark Ingram. I'm like, could it be Mark Ingram?
I was expecting an African-American guy. Maybe Steve got confused. No, he's Caucasian. He's not. He doesn't look anything like Mark Ingram on TV. Oh, God. Yeah. You're the best, Steve. You're the best. I love it.
Thanks, Dave. You know what? You just warmed my heart. Nathan Grella said he loves the pod and he's going to his first game in he's going to the Duke game in 3 weeks. Keep up the awesome work. So we got awesome work. How about that? So Dave, good luck to are you able to go tonight?
Yeah, I should be able to go tonight.
Okay.
I have to run right now though.
Yeah, I know you do. I'll see you tonight.
You guys can close it out. I'll see you later. No, great seeing you, Joe.
I think we're done. Shu.
Steve's going to close it out.
I think the Mark Ingram thing is blown it out. So for the best podcast host in the nation, Steve Cully. For the coach, Coach Schumann, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. Remember, when life gives you lemons, go get a margarita. Goodbye.